Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cities Skylines. I certainly hope you're having a good one wherever you happen to be, because I'm certainly excited to be back. There have been a couple of small changes since the last episode, nothing too major, because I have been indulging in my latest addiction, which is Gears 5. But given that that is a third-person cover-based shooter with a lot of gore, blood, and guts, I don't think we'll go into that too much, because this is a Cities Skylines video, not a Gears 5 video. It's a lot of fun, though. I'll say that. Anyway, let's just dive on into it. I've made some changes to the industrial area, and I originally set out to record this, but I got like 30 minutes into this process, and it was just kind of boring, to be honest. Like, it was this, like what you see here, all just this key stuff. That was it. That took me like 30 minutes to do. Probably a bit longer than it needed to take, and it just wasn't a very interesting, like, bulk of an episode, because I'm trying to make sure I'm not doing, like, hour-long videos every day. I'm trying to pull that back a little bit. So I didn't want to have, like, just an episode about building this. But what this is a bunch of warehouses. I decided to put them in this lower area because I thought it looked interesting. I decided to move them away from the main bulk of the industry, which I still haven't done. We still have a warehouse there, and then 2 warehouses down here, and they're still functioning. But the reason I wanted to put these warehouses over here is to try and draw some of the traffic away from the main bulk of the industrial area. The other thing that I did was connect some roads up this way a little bit. This road here is new, and this road down here is not connected all through this way. I used a little bit of move it to just shuffle this warehouse over to kind of connect it to this one. And I got a road through there that I think looks pretty good. So that's basically it. I also added this cargo harbor in here because, as it turns out, there's perfect space for it. And we didn't have one of these. We have not had a cargo harbor yet. So I thought it was appropriate to get one of those. That's why there's a bunch of containers around here. And I just decided to detail this and try and make it look as nice as I possibly could. Now, obviously, we are having some issues with traffic in this area. Traffic flow across Nerdsey is 73%, which is diabolical, to be totally honest. But I do intend to fix that. I want to look into it. I want to figure some things out. This area in particular is not doing us any favors in terms of traffic flow. It doesn't help that there's, you know, a lot of twists and turns, intersections, and all that stuff. So it is something I'm looking to fix, just not really today. Because what I want to do today is get started on this area, because I'm thinking I want to try and make a theme park. I want to see if I can do it. I want to see if I can make it look interesting. And I'm going to need to play around with a lot of the options that we have, because obviously we're going to need to level it up to unlock everything. But I just want to make something interesting. I want to make something fun. I want to make something that's kind of cool looking. So to do that, I'm going to rip out all these roads. And I'm going to say that we're going to do our main entrance to this thing pretty much right here, to be totally honest. And that gives us a few unlocks. Nothing too major, but it's pretty much going to be right there. And the whole thing is essentially going to be on the waterfront. Now, with that said, this is probably not going to be the only theme park that we do in Nerdsey, because this one isn't going to be huge. Because obviously there's not really the room for it to be all that big. But I'm thinking that I do want to do one down here. I think a theme park would look really cool, kind of on the water, with all these buildings next to it. I think it'll look really, really interesting. So we'll fill in all this space. We'll neaten up the district's edges because it is a little bit messy right now. And then we're going to see what we can do to this. So straight down, like, oh, okay. Auto saving. Okay. I see how, oh, wow. Okay. Auto saving's having a pretty rough time lately. I think it's because I've put a lot of custom stuff into Nerdsey as of late. Auto saving always kind of just hangs a little bit, is what I'll say. Now let's go ahead and extend this out a little bit, because I do want to just make this as neat as I possibly can. So that's going to come out like so, and then we're just going to go in and we're going to chop it off at the side there, and then across here as well. And that looks okay. It could probably be a little bit neater. There we go. That looks all right to me. It's the Mickey Experience right now is what this thing is called, which is an interesting name. A very interesting name. Now let's see. So this thing could fit really nicely there. This is a cafe, which I'm not really too interested in. What is that? That's just a plaza. So we have the carousel, which would fit there too. We have the arcades. We have a lot of things we could play with, but not a lot. Or sorry, we have a lot of room we could play with, but not a lot of things to put in that space. So we might need to figure that out. Now let's put a side gate for the amusement park right about there. I'm thinking we're probably only going to have the 2 gates anyway, so that's all right by me. And let's run the fence pretty much right across this. So it's going to go to about there. This one can go to about there. And I think if I'm lucky, I might be able to use some road guidelines to get these to line up perfectly, which I absolutely can. And then over here is just going to go, let me see here, turn off guidelines. I'm thinking there, and I'm thinking we just sort of run it up to the key. I'm not going to go too crazy trying to get this to line up exactly right. I just don't really, I don't want to say I don't care. It's not necessary at the minute. I mean, there's not a lot going on with this just yet. Now, in terms of paths and all that stuff, I am thinking I want like a main path across here. I think that would be kind of nice. So let's do a solid 30 there. Let's do, I don't know, 8 about there. And then for this side, I think about, maybe 12. And can I do 12 on this side? I can. So we're going to have a couple of paths like that. I am going to want to use road guidelines to make sure that this path in this part runs parallel to the key. That's going to be kind of important to me. So we'll connect those together. And then how can I best do this? What would be the best way to get these two to connect? I'm slightly tempted to just go with that, to be totally honest. And I think I might just do that, because that's probably just the easiest way to do it without getting too crazy here. And I'm thinking this area down here, if I can get a path perfectly in the middle, which that almost is, I think that's probably nicely in the middle there. What I want to do with that is maybe throw these arcades at the bottom of it. So put one of them like there, and then one of them on the opposite side about there. And I think that looks kind of interesting. I kind of dig that. I'd be very tempted to actually double these up even further, though. So something like that, and then the other one like that. So we kind of have this like enclosed space at the end of all this. I can put some trees around it, make it all interesting looking. I kind of dig that. I like that a lot. So let's connect that to everything else so that it connects there and, you can get to it. And then I guess I need to figure out what else goes around it, because these plazas aren't necessarily going to fit. We've got the souvenir shop, which actually would fit. Maybe that's what this area is. The arcades and the shops. Maybe that's what this little stretch of land is going to be. I wouldn't mind that too much. What else have we got? We've got the restrooms. I guess those should definitely go down here as well. So there and about there. And again, I kind of like that. And that actually gives us a power connection down there as well, which is really good news. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that space. I think we're just going to have that be like a really simple area. The carousel, I like the idea of it being over here. Or maybe down here. Would down here work? It is a little small for the area. Over here would be kind of interesting too. Over here could actually be really interesting, because I think that bit's a little bit smaller than these bits. So, although plazas will be interesting as well. Maybe a plaza and a carousel over here. You know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can get a plaza and a carousel into this little corner down here. So roughly where is the middle of this going to be? That's going to be the tricky part. That looks pretty central for that area, so we'll run that over. We'll run this through here. And then I think what we want to do is just connect up something like that so I can put the carousel on that. In fact, the carousel might be better done here. So let's see. If I was to put it there, it actually does fit really nicely. So that right there is where our carousel can go. In fact, you know what? Let's move it forward a bit. I'm going to use move it to do this because it's going to make my life a lot easier. I'm thinking something like that for the carousel. So it's got a decent little bit of grass around it. And I can go ahead and put trees and stuff around it as well. So that's 100% where that's going to go. In terms of a path in front of it, I mean, this should be relatively easy. If I line up there and line up about there, I think that works. And then for a plaza, I guess I'll just do the same thing. I'll try and get it like central with trees around it and stuff like that. Just make it kind of nice and place it about there. That might need shifted over just ever so slightly, but that, I think that works. I kind of dig it. So let's go ahead and do the same thing with the paths on the plaza, where it's going to start right about there and end right about, let's see, right about there, I think. And I wonder if I could get a nice curve on those, because that would be interesting, I think. So something like that. I don't mind that. I actually don't mind that. Obviously, the curve isn't exactly perfect, but I don't mind it too much. It kind of does the job. So let's see. Can I run a path straight across here? I totally can. So I think that's the thing I'm going to do, is run a path over here. And I think maybe that's... No, that seems a little silly. That seems like way too much walking to get, you know, to the carousel. I think we need a square here is what I'm getting at. So maybe that can exist, but then we need this to connect over. And that looks a little bit silly. Oh, I don't know. I'm not actually sure what to do here. Could do like a weird corner thing. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Oh, that's the last thing I want to do. Oh, no. Please tell me that'll go back nice and easy. Yes, it will. Okay. Yeah, so this looks a little bit silly as well. Oh, this is more complicated than it should be, isn't it? Oh, not again. Not again. Let me put that back in as well. There we go. Yeah, this is more complicated than I feel it should be. I'm overcomplicating it, is what I'm doing. Alrighty, so all of this is in and powered, which is kind of the important part. I decided to just go with this kind of thing, which I realize doesn't look incredible, but this is kind of all I could do. I also decided to sort of add more arcades and toilets and souvenir shops into this area, because it does actually give us that power connection. With that said, I'm thinking that I want to duplicate it, rotate it, and put it on this side, because I think it's going to be better on this side, because it isn't going to necessarily block the view of the carousel. So putting them there, I think, is just a little bit better. It does look a little weird having the backs of the buildings facing this way, so I'm going to need to put something in this space to sort of compensate for that, because I don't really... The thing with theme parks is, like, you're never really supposed to see the back of attractions, right? Like, they decorate the front of them to be incredible, but you're not really supposed to see behind them. So I guess what I could do is go in with some walls and some fences, and I'm thinking that the forestry fence could actually be a really good shot, because it's quite bright. It's quite, well, it's not bright, but it's not imposing, right? It's just a wooden fence. Like, it's just a kind of natural color, which I think is really cool. I think the amusement park fence, and also you can't see through it. The amusement park fence you can see through, and it's a little industrial, the amusement park fence, I think. It's a little, like, it's this red, like, painted metal fence. It's just not super pleasant to look at. So that's kind of what's going on there. Now what I would like to do is continue that fence down the side there. I know that's a little... That's actually... that's fine. It's enclosing it, which is kind of what I want it to do. I want to do the same on this side as well. And then I think I can put, like, some trees and some decorations into this little space, which I could actually go into and put some curbs in, which might look really interesting. So if we were to do... Let's see here. Let's see if I can actually get this to work. So if I was to go, say, one there and do this kind of thing, I'm wondering if I can get these curbs to fit this space perfectly, because I am going to need to raise them up, which they don't seem to want to let me do. They don't seem to want to let me do. Is that the right... That sentence doesn't sound right. That doesn't... There's something... I don't know why, but it doesn't sound right. Anyway, we'll just not bother with that. I could do some sort of walls, but I think we can probably just get away with, like, a couple of trees. Yeah, tall tree there, a tall tree sort of there. And then if I could get one of the smaller ones, that'd be great. Something like, let me see. Give me one of the smaller ones, Cities, please. That one's huge. Oh, wow. That one's actually really big. Hold on. These are the small ones. So let me... Oh, we got more stuff already. Fantastic. All right. So let me move this to here. Let me move you to there and then put this giant thing back in there. We'll just have a couple of like tall trees in that space. Take all of these ones out. And I think that looks all right. I could probably put some bushes sort of around the bottom here as well. Get a little bit of color going. You know, make something kind of interesting looking. So what would contrast with this perfectly? Would orange do it? No. Pink? Pink isn't bad. The white actually has a really nice contrast with the red there. So I like that a lot. And I think that's kind of what I want to do with a lot of the spaces in here. I want this place to feel like it has, like, all of the space is being used for something. Even though a lot of the space back here is just going to be trees. Or, well, actually, no. It's not necessarily going to be trees. Because part of what I want to do is maintain the view over the water. So it'll be bushes. It'll be bushes. It'll be shrubbery. It'll be all that good stuff. Now, let's see. What else did we unlock there? So we got the piggy train. We got rotating teacups, which are tiny, by the way. So is the piggy train, actually. So where could we put these? I mean, I want to save this space for like a roller coaster or like a big wheel. The piggy train could almost go right here by the entrance. I mean, how does that... That doesn't look terrible. Like, you come into the main thing, you've immediately got the piggy train. It's a little underwhelming, though, I guess. And it would block the view over to the air. Well, actually, you know what? In saying that, if we're talking about views here, coming through the main gate and immediately seeing the airport is probably not the most exciting thing. So let's actually do this. Let's put some bushes around this. Let's put some trees behind it. The view from here, from the entrance, isn't going to be the most important part. I think that's fair to say. So we'll kind of do this thing, put some trees there to kind of just block up that view a little bit. I don't know if I like that, though. Maybe not. Maybe we'll not do that. Huh. We need something else in that main space, though. We do need something. I'm thinking it's going to be a plaza. Although the plaza is a little bit underwhelming. We also haven't got a cafe. That would be interesting. What about just a cafe right there? No, I don't know how I feel about that either, because that's very much like, hey, welcome to the amusement park. Feel free to have a seat. You know, it's not like a thrilling amusement park experience, is it? It's like, welcome. Your feet are going to be killing you in 5 minutes. Why not get ahead of the game? So I think that can maybe go there. Maybe the piggy train can go over by this area, like next to the plaza. So like you can actually, you know, I like that a lot. It's like, hey, let the kids, yeah, you know, let the young kids go enjoy the piggy train. You can enjoy a coffee or, you know, sit in the plaza or do whatever. That seems like the way to go with this. If I'm really going to be thinking about this layout, then it's like, hey, you know, let the kids enjoy the piggy train. You enjoy coffee, go sit over here, do whatever. And then you've also got like the carousel, you've got the rides and all that, or the arcade and all that stuff. I like that. I like that a lot. In terms of surrounding the piggy train with anything, I don't actually think I'm going to do that. I think it's probably fine as is. Although, interestingly, you get on it, go that way, and you're just facing a fence. That's fine, though. I like this. That area is fine. We do also need the spinning teacups, though. So where can they go? They are also very small. So those are probably just going to go here. Like, that's probably a fine location for those. Unless I was to maybe take out one of the arcades and put them in here. Although I don't know. I feel like everything's getting crammed together too much. We don't actually have any rides over this way either. I wonder if I could, like, hold on. I wonder if I could do this, right? So place it there. And then move it to there. Right? So we kind of get it into this space. I like that a lot, actually. I think we'll do that, and then we'll kind of duplicate what we did over here in this corner and just put a bunch of trees in it. I like that idea a lot. So let's do that. Let's just do, you know, a tree. One of these trees there. And then maybe another one just for a little bit of asymmetry. So we have two like the thin ones and then one of the thin ones over there. That works for me. So we'll put some bushes around this just to give it that, you know, green contrast to all the red that's going on. Put some of the white in there as well. I like that. It's nice and simple. You know, it does the job. I'm thinking back here we could probably do the same thing as well. So, you know, a couple of those bushes, a couple of the leafy garden bushes in here as well. Like that, and then maybe just 2 trees. So something like that. I think that works. Nicely surrounds it. Looks, you know, planned and detailed. It does the job. How are we looking here? So what do we need for the next one? We need more visitors. The entertainment value is already there. It really is just visitors. So what can we do? So amusement park buildings are maintained super well, causing them to be even more fun than normal. Boosts the entertainment effect of the amusement park buildings by 20%. Let's do it. And I don't think there's much else we can do. Visitors can see the park at night on special tours. Sure, I don't know. Celebrate. Fireworks show in the park every night. We don't have night, but okay. Nature reserve buildings, no. Fine for fireworks. Interesting. Okay. Advertisement campaign. Sure. Let's do that. 200 per week. We'll put all of those policies on. We'll see if we can manage to, you know, do some good stuff there. And I think while we're doing that, I do want to go ahead and put some trees around a lot of this space. In fact, just looking at it, I'm thinking it might not be a bad idea to have a look at fences or... Yeah, there would be a fence there. Well, would there? I don't know if I want to put a fence there or put bushes and stuff there. Because technically speaking, this whole thing for health and safety reasons would be surrounded by fences. But fences, in this case, I don't think are going to look too good. They'll spoil my view. I think we're going to ignore health and safety. I think that's what we're going to do here. Is we're going to ignore the health and safety concerns. We're just going to place, I don't know where that tree went. There it is. We're just going to place a bunch of trees. Not completely blocking the view. That's kind of the important thing. I'm not one to completely, you know, take away the view from here. But this area is going to be surrounded by them. I think that's probably more than enough for the trees. So now it's going to be time for all the bushes and all of the white shrubs and all that stuff to go in as well. And I don't want to do these too dense. They shouldn't be like completely covering the ground. Alrighty, so this is all coming together kind of nicely. I've got a bunch of trees back here, and that's kind of what I want to do with these areas is, you know, what? Oh, that's bad. Huh. Okay. Well, at least the paramedics are able to get here. Fair enough. Right. I thought it was on fire for a second there. But something I want to do while we're waiting for this to level up again is I want to go in here and I want to take out a bunch of this zoning. And there's 2 reasons I want to do that. Reason number 1 is I want the sun to kind of always hit the front of this when the sun's kind of high in the sky. I think that'll look really cool. Obviously, that does ever so slightly give access to view the trains going by and all that stuff, which is less than luxurious for a theme park, but whatever. But the main reason I want to do this is so I can do something like this, right? Let's go, you know, 3 there and 3 there. And then this way I want to go 4 and I want to go 4, connect there. And I'm going to go forward just a little bit more and I want to connect that bit together. Now, the reason I'm connecting that bit together is because I want to make this sort of like an area for buses to come in here and stop, and you know, people can cross the road to get into the theme park. I think that would be really cool. So that's pretty much exactly what this is. That's just the exact idea. Let me turn off collisions real quick, or rather, they need to be on to fix that problem. Never mind. Okay, well, we're not gonna have zoning in there, so we'll not worry too much about it. But what I want to do, for example, is have this bus here stop in there, right? And I mean, there's a stop right here, so we're going to take that out because, you know, it'll be replaced by this one. But I want the bus to come in, I want it to stop, And I want to basically, you know, have a way for people to get a bus directly to the theme park. And I'm slightly tempted to do that for that road instead of the divided one, because the buses can then pull in really nicely. So I think that might be a decent idea. And I'm also thinking what I'm going to do, because we do have a bus line that goes out to the airport, don't we? We have this one that comes back and forth. If I was to grab a stop there and throw it up that way, you can now get a bus directly from the airport to the theme park, which is a bit weird, but I think that's kind of okay. I don't mind that too much. And I'm curious just to see how this ends up working. I think I'm also going to say that traffic is always going to give way to the buses. And I know that's weird, but I want to say traffic's going to give way to the buses. In fact, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do traffic lights. That way people aren't going to be... I'm going to do them up there as well, so people aren't crossing the road in front of buses, because that would be a little bit silly. But there we go. I mean, we can see people actually wanting to go to the airport already, which is kind of a big deal. And I'm imagining that if this was to work the way I'm hoping it will work, we might actually see people from the airport wanting to get a bus again, rather than always using the metro, because they always use the metro, and we know they always use the metro. So getting them to use buses would be kind of cool. I mean, we have people wanting to head out to the airport on a bus anyway. Actually, I say they're wanting to head to the airport. They're probably not wanting to head to the airport, are they? They're heading into town is what they're doing. So my bad. Never mind. I'm an idiot. That's fine, though. I'm not going to stress too much about that. In fact, I'm going to put the airport bus line, like, so it basically loops back here. So you can go into town. You can basically, the bus to the airport also goes to the theme park, which is probably a bit weird, but whatever. It's not a big deal. It's totally fine. I think this is cool, though. I like this idea, because what I can do with this is I can go in, I can go to the fences thing, I can grab the curb network, and I can sort of throw this around here a little bit, right? And then I can expand it. So expand it out into the corners so that it actually fills up the space really nicely. So something kind of like that. I think that fills up the space pretty well. It is ever so slightly going to overlap with where people walk, but that's not too big of a deal, because I think I can get it just about right where it barely overlaps, which is kind of roughly where it is right now. So bring this out, bring this down to there. And that looks okay. This bit needs to be moved over a little bit as well. And that looks all right to me. This top bit looks like it can come down just ever so slightly. This bit looks like it can go to the right ever so slightly, and that looks about right. So that nicely borders that middle area, right? And what I can do with that is throw in, you know, different trees, do whatever. I'd be very tempted to just throw a few trees across the middle there. So something like that. We'll space them out a little bit further so that there's maybe only four? Maybe only 4 trees, or maybe those trees. And so, let's space those out a little bit. I'm honestly thinking 4 of them is probably where we're gonna go with this. So right about there should do the job, and then we can just put bushes in there and do all that good stuff and just nicely surround this area with some color, which is kind of what I want to do. So let's start with the leafy garden, and we're gonna say it starts in this corner, runs to that corner. We're gonna space these out a lot less so that we need to make sure they're not overlapping way too much. So something like that should be fine. Just get it nice and central and place it. And then run down this way, run across this way, and to there. And that's maybe a little bit much, but what I was thinking was I would then line the inside of this with the white or the mixed ones. Actually would be kind of cool, but I'm looking at it, I'm thinking I don't want to do that. I'm thinking I might just put the mixed ones in the corners just to brighten the space a little bit. Because I mean, it's a stop by a theme park, right? It's a stop. Well, it's not even the main. It's not gonna be the main theme park. I think I will probably do a second one. But it should be kind of bright, or at least kind of vibrant. It should have some nice things going on. And honestly, looking at it, I think I am actually going to do some zoning just around that. Just to fill the space. I don't want to go too crazy with detailing around this bit, but I think that'll look good. I really do. Now, let's see. How are we looking? We need another 100 visitors, basically. 100, not even 100. We need 91 visitors now. So we'll get those 91 visitors. We'll see what we unlock. I mean, we can go look at what we unlock, to be honest. We're going to get the swinging boat, which is appropriate. The House of Horrors. The bumper cars. And then we get the drop tower ride later on. So level 5 is when we get the Ferris wheel as well. So the swinging boat. Honestly, I'm thinking I could just put it out here. That's where I'm thinking that's going to end up going. Because that seems like the perfect spot for it. And oh my god, there's so many people wanting to get on that bus. Are there people on it already? No. So that bus is pretty much going to fill immediately, which is good. Actually, that reminds me, we probably want to say that regular civilian traffic doesn't go out there. No, wrong button. Wrong button. So select you and block civilian traffic on all of that road. Everything else can... Hey, there we go. Everything else can get there, but regular traffic can't. So, we got the swinging boat. We got the House of Horrors. We got the bumper cars. Wait, what is that? Wow, that's tiny. That is so small. The House of Horrors probably shouldn't be right by the entrance. The swinging boat's tiny as well. Good lord. These are... That's so small. Like, I was going to put it out here, but that's like... That's so tiny. We might need to... We're going to need to do, like, the bumper cars and stuff out there as well. Or... I don't know, actually. I mean, I wanted to do some cool stuff out here. Maybe the Ferris wheel and the roller coaster and all that goes over there. And then the swinging boat and the bumper cars can all go in this area. Because, I mean, it'll fit perfectly here. The bumper cars are a little bit bigger, but that's kind of okay. I'm thinking the bumper cars are probably going to go... here, actually. So something like... Let's just get it a little bit closer. Something like that for the bumper cars is probably fine. And then I guess we could do like a custom little plaza type space in here. You know, do something nice with it. So if we were to go in and say we wanted to use... I wonder if I could use the curb, actually. So if I was to go in and say, you know, do some curb there, right? It does look a little weird because it's like such a vibrant shade of grass against the slightly more faded shade of grass that we have, but that's all right. Let me go grab another one of those and throw you in there. So we do that. We go and we do another bit here. And then another bit there. Like, I'm debating whether or not I like this at the minute. That's kind of where I'm at. And I can't tell for the life of me if I do. I do kind of dig it, but I think we need to pave it as well. So if I go in with this and keep a really small brush, I should be able to just pave under this. Yeah, so I can do that, which I think immediately makes it look a little bit more interesting. I think we could go in and we could do maybe an olive tree. Or maybe just one of the big trees? No, one of those trees. I think we do one of those trees there and there. Just to kind of match everything together. And then maybe just a little... I don't know, a pencil pine. Pencil pines would be interesting for this area too, to be fair. But I think we'll just do the 2 trees. I think the 2 will do fine. And then maybe just a... I don't know, do we want to do leafy gardens along this? That's the question here. I don't think we do. I think that's fine. Let's go into the amusement park category because there's a bunch of things that I want to grab here. Because what we can do is put things like the coin game, and we can put things like the other coin game and the children's rides and all that stuff. So we can put all of that in here and turn this into like a really nice sort of, you know, more carnival-ish area. Right? So we throw that there. We can do the children's rides, say, there and there. Although I don't know if I want to do 2 of those right beside each other. The coin games, I don't even know if they should be outside. Because I just genuinely don't know that. Cotton candy cart, let's do that just here. So yeah, we'll do the cotton candy cart there. I think what I'm actually going to do... Oh, the helicopter's back. Interesting. That helicopter seems to come here a lot. That has me slightly worried. But we'll do the 2 carts there. We'll do the kids' rides there. And then I think I'm just going to do... I don't know if I want to do these with the trees. I think I'm just going to do these kind of benches here. So 1. And then 2. And 3. I kind of want 3 in there. I don't know if my pattern necessarily works, though. It kind of looks like the iPhone 11's camera at the minute, which is hideous, by the way, in case you were curious. I guess that works. Sort of this, like, right angle here. Yeah, that kind of works. It's pretty simple. I think maybe those actually come out and we just do another one. So something like that. And then move this one forward. I think that'll be the way to do it. Is that kind of spacing there. So you do still have the 2 carts. We can actually just move those a little bit further away from the tables. You do still have your carts. And what we can do is throw an amusement park street light, say, there and there, so that area actually has some light. And I think that'll be okay. We can maybe add a sign as well, just to sort of show, you know, hey, welcome to Chirpy Land, or whatever it is. Anything else we can do? Not really. I think that's fine. I think that fills the space really nicely. It looks the part, you know, it just turns it into a seating area next to all the rides. I dig it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to be like, hey, we're going to leave it there, because I've done nothing so far. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think we're going to leave it there for today, because what I want to do is I want to leave this thing to just level up. I just want to get a bunch more visitors in here. And then next time what we'll do is we'll dive in with everything unlocked, and we're going to figure out where exactly our roller coaster is going to go, where our Ferris wheel is going to go, all that good stuff. I think also between episodes, I'll do a little bit of detailing around everything. So this area down here needs a bunch of trees. And this area in here kind of needs to be filled up with something. I do think the plaza could be the way to go on that. You know, I feel like this right here, kind of in that space, I think it looks the part. But obviously, it overlaps in a lot of things, so maybe it doesn't. But we do need something in there. And I'm tempted by the souvenir shop as well, if I'm totally honest. Because, you know, souvenir shop right by the exit. That definitely seems like something that's, that this park would do. Although it just seems a little much. It seems like it's right in your face, and I don't know how I feel about that. Although, actually, I could probably make that work, actually. Because that right there is 45.1, 45, 44.9. There's roughly 45 degrees. So if I was to do that and then put the thing on it, so it's not like right against the front entrance, to do that. That kind of works. It spaces it out a little bit. I realize I said I was about to wrap things up, but that, I don't mind that. And then what we could do is just put some bushes in that middle space, and everything will be good. Yeah, I don't mind that anywhere near as much. I think that looks a little bit better. It gives us something in that like main area. It does the job, I think. I might figure out something else for it, but for the time being, we'll just put the souvenir shop there. This space out here is definitely a bit cluttered, but I think we can maybe make it work if I start moving things around a little bit. I think the cafe might need to be moved somewhere else. I think the pig ride thing is fine. I think the plaza is fine, but I think the cafe is what's throwing off the balance of this space a little bit. I really enjoy how this area looks. It's plain, simple, to the point. You've got your little, like, custom plaza on the bottom left. You've got this just sort of boulevard of shops on either side, the arcades at the end. I think it just does the job. It's simple, to the point. You know, people seem to enjoy it. Whatever, it'll do. And then the bumper cars and the teacups, I think they just fit nicely into that corner. I think the trees around it looks really good. They're kind of confined to their own space, but it's just, you know, it works. This is more of what I want to do. This kind of thing here where, like, The little extra corners are filled up with bushes and all that stuff. That's why I'm trying to get everything together. That's why I'm trying to pack all the different areas together. It just, I don't know. I don't think we're going to have enough items for a theme park to fill up all the space that I'm wanting to play with. But with that said, we have a lot of space, but I reckon, I'm pretty sure the roller coaster is quite huge, and the Ferris wheel is probably going to fit in somewhere really nicely as well. So I think we're just in a bit of a problem because we're dealing with the really small rides right now. Once we get the big ones, I think we'll be okay. But with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's been my absolute pleasure as always. And as always, if you've got any ideas for the next one, leave them down in the comments. It's a bit rich me saying as always and that, isn't it? If you have any ideas for the next episode, for what else we can do with the theme park, leave them down in the comments while you're down there. If you enjoyed the video, do please leave a like on it. I would appreciate it. If you disliked it, then leave a dislike and tell me why. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, the medical helicopter's back. Nice!